G'day, mate. You know when you got an idea in your head and you can't leave it alone? Well, I thought to myself, it's all fine if you got a lathe and you got machinery and stuff. I have a lathe, but I haven't got a motor for it at the moment. But I thought I'd show you this. So if you want to do this by just pulling things apart, it'll be all the ingredients you'll need to do it. So I tried to pull apart my 45cc saw. It wouldn't come apart. The screws inside here, like the Titan Tech, but that one there stripped and that one there stripped. I couldn't get them out. That one was tight, but I got it out. I ended up using a 4mm socket only key. If quarter wrench it was, undone these two, but these two here just stripped. I couldn't get them out. So I got the angle grind this part here. I have to give me room with the grinder, so I come down here and just cut the head off so the bolt's still in there, and then the same underneath. So I cut through there and throw those cases away, but this will give me access to this crankshaft. So there's no more bolts, so I'll pull that apart. Gin frame bit. So flathead screwdriver. Yeah, flathead. So I'm not really particularly worried about this one, but Titan Tech had a bit more of a gap up here in this one. I don't know what brand it was, but I've been around for ages in this shed. Gotta find somewhere you can start leaving cranks and leverage on it. Might do 2 screwdrivers then. Once that's going, any hell on my glue. Come on, come apart. Alright, I might tap it over here. No, pliers there, a bit wire, so I'll show the pliers with this end part here. I need to get a little gap on the start opening. So I'll put the pliers in here and open the pliers upwards. No, wrong kind of pliers, well, let me do it. Alright, hammer. I get my hammer and I do a tap. Because I don't care if I break the case, I just want the crank. Because I thought if the 52cc crank was near enough close enough to make this work, the 45 must be even better. So I was watching videos this morning about balancing crankshafts. Let's close that in a sec. Why won't you come apart? I'm gonna move it all. I got the end of it down on it to get pressure for it. No. I should have I've got all the screws out. Got the 5, yep, they're all out. Alright, I'm going to be a bit more savage, I think. That's starting to open now. On the AV mount there. So, let's shoot over in that gap now. There you go. So there's dowels in here. 2 dowels, I think. 1, 2, yeah, 2 dowels. Could have used a chainsaw splitter, but you don't need to of these particular ones. There you go. Should come off. All glued on. It was a good little saw, but wasn't powerful at all. It had really bad compression. 2 transfers. The 4 a lot more compression, so always go for 4 if you don't want to modify too much. Now, go to the top. You back a bit. Enough room for everything on the table. Right. A little tight, this one. Light will come apart now. There you go, so that's that one off. You can see where the bolts were. One there, and along just there. So, any one of the cranks, I'll pull that crank out now. It will come. You don't want to damage your thread where your flywheel goes or your clutch. If possible. Well, then you won't be able to use your crank. I got a rubber mount. That's it, so it's off. So now I want to see if doing this will help me out or hinder me more. I get rid of this metal. Alright, get rid of that. And I'll stick this crank in the 62 cc Neatec saw and see if it's going to be a better fit, because most of these parts are interchangeable. The flywheel on this particular one, I'll check flywheel wise. So, right, the flywheel off the Neatec hopefully will fit the 45. Yeah, it'll fit tight. Yeah, that'll fit beautiful. So the original one, I don't like these ones, but tend to keep most parts. The original one had plastic paws on it. Paws, see? But they're hard to get off because you hit the center of the crank, you gotta do it dead on. You hit these, you'll pop them, that plastic, and they'll fall apart. And you can buy new ones, you have to. This one here, ready to fall off, it's not clicked on. I'll click that back on actually. I might have to use this flywheel one day. Back on. No. What we'll do, I'll do this flywheel side. Yeah, flywheel. So, making sure that's the 45. You see that? So I want to put that in the hole for the flywheel. I'll blow it off. Get the middle cracking off it. Everything will have to be cleaned up. Maximum attention to cleanness. I give that a little tap, make sure it's seated in the bearing. In home, and we'll stick the A36 piston on there. Now what I was talking about being unbalanced and stuff before, so you can see the piston was different height and different size. So if you go gudgeon pin to gudgeon pin, the 62 is a shorter piston, but it's also a hell of a lot heavier piston. So it started making me wonder, the A36 piston, am I going to have a problem? Because the other guy told me he shot himself to pieces. Now, the 45cc piston, which is a dome piston, weighs almost the same as the A36, but there's a different height too. So, if I could do that. Ever so much, not as much as this 62, but that would cause an interference where it's not throwing around the same way with your crankshaft. So, I want to find out, I weighed them, basically weigh the same. I want to find out if I can use the 45cc crank in the Neatec saw using a 62cc we call 62cc cylinder will fit if there's enough clearance. Then have to work out the rest of it. Well, I think there is, and without having to modify anything, which would be very interesting. So, put it back on. I'll use this because it's magnetised. These are good screws and stuff, and might work it all. Another screw. Where's another screw? I'm just shooting this off the hips, guys. Not planned. It's just, yeah, all the warts and pimples. If it works good, it'd be great. If it doesn't, well, I'll try it. So that's on there. So I'll screw that down, or cinch it down. Nip it down. Almost. So I'll go almost, and we'll spin it over and see if she fits. Or I can go all the way down, or if it goes all the way down, I can then do a squish test. Alright. Can it go all the way around? No, she's still hitting. How much is she hitting by? So that's how much. So I might have to stick with a 52. Not much different there at all. Yeah. Alright. 52 might be the way to go. Basically the same as before. So I'll cinch it down and nip. You know what? It's almost the same as 52. I don't know what's going on there. I thought they were different strokes. That is weird. So yeah, alright. Looks like we're going 52. Because it'll still need two gaskets to make that work. So it didn't work at all. So, I don't know. Alright, I'll put it together with 52cc crank. Right, guys, as usual, thanks for watching. Go back to my, I have to clean all the gaskets, clean all the dust, and a lot of cleaning. Right, over and out. Just trying to inform, I'll put a picture in roughly here. This is, I put the 52cc crank back in. I turn the piston around by normal going forward. So that's where it stops. So I'll take a photo of that, and then I'll do the 45cc crank and show you what the difference is. I'll do it directly above. Just there, it's a crank, center of the crank. So one thing I did notice I didn't think before, I've always assumed certain things, assumptions, mother of all stuff-ups. Timing on the flywheel. So there's the keyway, I'll put that at 12 o'clock. Keyway for 45. I'll put that at 12 o'clock. They don't seem to be the same, so magnet. Right, I'll put the magnet up top of this down. Magnets top this down. Magnets top this down. So you can see the keyway is out on the 50. This is 62cc timing. It's out, and the 45 is completely different again. But I noticed different things, like the counterbalance weight on the flywheel for the 62 is a lot fatter, but it's the magnets. And that's the 45. So there is a difference in weights and stuff. So I have to be very careful. Like the center of this flywheel is solid. The center of this flywheel is hollow. Yeah, there's a difference in weight. So trying to balance everything up. So I think I will go back to the how can I do this? I have to think about this. Right. I'll go back and put the 45cc crank back in and look at here and just see if I can work out what that goes. I prefer to have a heavy flywheel over a light one, but if it's throwing me all the way out, weight wise, I'll probably have to go to 45cc one, I think. Could be a higher rever, higher piston, as the piston goes up actually higher. Don't know. Right, I'll give it to that. Okay, I've had a good think. This is a 52cc crank back in, turn around normal, and it stops at exactly the same spot. You understand? Same spot as the 45. Now, I've decided I'll go with the 45, and the reason is piston weight. So that's got the A36 piston. This piston's the same weight, roughly within a couple of grams. I didn't have the rings on that, but I had the gauge and pin in split pins and stuff like that. Now, why I'm doing that is the counterbalance weight on the flywheel seems to be a lot low. Just by picking it up, you can feel it. There's a big difference. So if I make this lighter, the piston's higher, but it's the same weight. So hopefully the same weight of the piston will cancel out the counterbalance weights. There seems to be a bit of a variation on the actual. Which one is it? Oh, no. The 45. Yeah. Oh, yeah, 40, that's the 45. The counterbalance weights on this are thinner than this one here, the 52. They're a bit fatter. So I'm not quite sure. It might be a big job. I have to do it again later on, but I'll have to machine the piston just a bit. I could use a hand file, just take a piece off right around, or angle grinder. It's not nice, but the easiest way to do it. But I'm not sure which way we'll go, because when you start adding weight, your weight starts going higher and lower, like the stroke, as your stroke goes up and down like that. You add forces and stuff, they'll shake the shit out of it. So I'll go to the 45. If that doesn't work, I'll work out another time with some energy. But the 45cc crank has been in the shed for a long time, so it's not rusty at all. The 52's got a bit of moisture damage to it, so I know the 45 will probably last better. So I'll go that way. Air compressor always does it. So I'll go 45 flywheel. I might the lathe I can still turn it by hand, so I'll put the piston actually in the jaws and just take a piece off with that, I think, and let's see if I can get this crank to spin over. I'll do a bit of footage of that when I've done it, so just to see if this is possible, guys, possible at all. Okay, going by this, this is a heat gasket you'll find behind your carburetor on the intake side to stop heat getting to your carburetor and causing lock up when your saw gets hot. So I've ripped it and cut in half. So 2 thicknesses of that is what has to come off that piston, basically, because it's a bit crooked right now, but that's about how much I have to take it off. So I can flex a bit, but yeah, I think that'll be enough, but that's a starting point for me, so I know where to go from that. Right, I'll get this done. Alright, the things you do when you haven't got the right tools. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Ooh. Yeah, I think you can. Right, so no electric motor in this thing. I'm going to use my hand, so I do want to share some of this piston off. That's why I'm doing it, because it's a one-off thing. But a lot of mucking around. A bit more. Sit that way. Shoot it. So I'm pulling off a little bit of meat, just so it will fit, hopefully. I'll just have to muck around with this for a while, but it's, you know, you do what you gotta do. But one day I intend to get this lathe working good, but that needs an electric motor. So a bit of metal's coming off there. I'm trying to take about maybe 40 thou off it. See how she goes. So almost a squish on the actual piston itself. I'm adjusting a squish on the cylinder, but there's no free porting. It should be alright. You see it's metal coming off that. So yeah, I thought I'd show you guys that. Things you have to do sometimes. Alright. So she's starting to get what I want. Bit of a pop up, but need to make the piston bit shorter. Right. Okay, it's been a bit of a time since the last filmed, a few hours. So I'll show you what I end up with. I've done this all by hand. So now I've got a base gasket with a base gasket for a 52cc, so I had to cut it out with scissors, make it fit. Now I'm not hitting. So work out what squish I've got, but that's the piston. So she's going to have huge compression. That I took the top ring off, took the locating pin out as well. That's the factory top side there, so massive pop up. But I'm going to run one piston, run one ring. But there's no blowback, no free porting issues. So that's the 62cc cylinder. So I'm happy with that. So one gasket. I got bowl all together now and see what the squish is, but I don't really want to take much more off that thing. Alright guys, I'm buggered pulling that glaive over by hand. It's a pain in the ass. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.